potential of this amplifier. Guys, welcome back. Alright, let me fix the camera here a little bit. Alright, so we have here the Memphis Audio16-SA1.300, and I tested it once myself, and I just kind of wanted to do it live on camera and see what I got from everybody's reactions here. So you can see we're running around between 2 to 3 ohms. 2 to 3 ohms there on the dyno. Alright, so we are all, we are all the way up on my, we'll call it a head unit. Let's see, I'm gonna go back here, play all that again. There we go. Alright, so bass boost is all the way up, and the only other one is phase and level. Alright, so we're gonna turn up the level and see if I can get more power out of this, because we're all the way tapped. Really not getting much power here. I don't know if there's something wrong with the amplifier. I did buy this used. We should really be getting like 300 watts right now. I think I'm almost all the way up on the gain. And the bass boost is all the way up also. So I'm just having a hard time. This is supposed to do 300 watts at 2 ohms. Let's go up a little bit more and see what happens. I feel like this is about where I tried it before, and I feel like it clipped off over here or something. I mean, we're getting, it's powering the subwoofer. I think, if anything, this would be for like a 1 ohm subwoofer running at like exactly 2 ohms. It would be for a subwoofer running exactly at 2 ohms, not wired to 2 ohms, running at 2 ohms after your impedance rise. Let's just, I'm going to put on some music and just see what it does playing some music. And also you can hear talking through it, which you should not be hearing. I mean, you can definitely tell that it it has bass. It's making bass. It's just not making a lot of power from the bass. And obviously at 8 ohms, 9 ohms, 10 ohms, we're not going to get a lot of power. I just expected a lot more from this amp than what it's putting out here. I don't know what that says on the back. The frequency 40 hertz and 40 hertz. That's weird. And the level I feel is almost at maximum. Let's see what we're getting for playing music here. So not much more for power. I mean, very, very low. 25 watts, 30 watts. I'm just curious if the speaker's warm from playing all this. So it's not warm or anything. Let's try to give it a little bit more. See what happens. And the amp is actually getting warm. Audio amp, pile amp, 0.2, that's not right. Or if that's like a burst. I'm turning up the gain right now. Bye. 104 watts, holy crap. Huh. Well, that's the most I've got out of the amp so far. That's that 104 watts there. So let's see here. 365. $97.7. So it's not like hot or anything. Alright, well, we got 104 watts there. That was our high. Let's see what it's just running at playing this song here. I'm just curious. Try to sell this amp for like 40 bucks maybe. Somebody that just wants a little bit of bass. And I mean, this thing's like all the way up. Let's see if I can go up anymore. Just curious how high. Let's see, hold on. I'm just curious how high I can go from where it actually is right now. Oh, so it's really almost all the way up. I mean, it has like it's at like 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock is all the way up. So that's as high as the amp possibly can go. Alright, so I'm just going to show you guys the amp real quick. I don't know if I ever showed it. So that's the little amplifier. You can see it's a very, very small amp. I mean, it's about the size of a tar amp's TS 400.4, maybe a tar amp's. Hold on one second. Let me put it on the. I'll get my other tar amps out. Let's see. Oh. So the tar amp's base 400. Let's see here. Show you guys that again. So there's the base 400, and that's the Memphis 300. Alright, so I'll put that there. Alright, there we are. She's back. Alright, so guys, anyways, I'm gonna call that. I mean, we got what we got. Thanks for watching, as always. I don't know what to say. I mean, it was an alright video. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you guys real soon with another amp dyno, another subwoofer test. Take care of yourselves and each other, guys. Peace. Alright, YouTube viewers, so I'm just going to add this to another video because the video I was hoping to make, I'm not going to be able to make. So I'll add a couple of things to this video that are, I'm just going to add them to the video. So first of all, I bought this Soundstream Reserve. This is, I guess, like the V2 version. The first one had a 2.5-inch coil. The new one, the upgraded version, has a 3-inch coil. Different basket, whole different assembly. Like they rebuilt their Soundstream Reserve subwoofer, completely rebuilt it. So I was really excited to do this subwoofer. And upon receiving it, in the pictures now, these were separated. So I knew that that was a thing, but I was just figuring I could either run it without the cover on it over the motor, or because I had the T512 before, which had the same issue. The basket fell off of the motor, so that's no big deal. It still runs. Upon receiving it, I found that the magnet here is smashed, like completely broken, and shifted in 2 different places, which in turn caused the entire subwoofer to freeze. So now I did a 9-volt test on it, and you can almost hear like the voice coil scratching. So I don't know if that means that the subwoofer was blown and then smashed, or the voice coils are scratching because the magnet shifted. So I don't know which happened at which time. I just got the speaker. This is how I got it, and it's completely frozen. Like it doesn't move at all, and which would make sense because the whole assembly from top to bottom has shifted down in the bottom down here, which would cause the whole thing, because the whole thing basically from the bottom to the top is all attached. From the spider to the cone to everything here is attached down to the bottom of the voice coil. So if one part of it is broken, the whole thing is not going to move or work. Both voice coils do the same thing. Then upon looking at it, I found these terminals were extremely loose, which they're not supposed to be. And the other terminal is almost falling off. I had to, oh, it is falling off. I actually had to, let me turn this around so you can see it. It's actually falling off. So I think I'm going to try to take off whatever pieces I can off of these speakers and save them for future builds or future projects that I'm going to do, because at some point I do plan on building my own speaker or my own line of speakers, or even rebuilding other people's speakers better. So that's going to happen sometime in the future. I mean, I'm going to start with something simple, probably a single 4-ohm subwoofer, and work my way up from there. But it's just something that I've always, it looks so fascinating to do, and it is fascinating when you think about what this thing does from start to finish. When you start off making something with a couple of magnets, gluing them together, to the whole assembly of the whole speaker, and then what it produces in the end. A mind-blowing sound that changes music, literally. So this is another thing I got here, this Alpine MRP-M500. I've had this amplifier before, so getting it again, I was really excited to have it again because it's a fascinating, awesome amplifier. It is one of the first full bridge that was designed and made. I just love this amp in my car. It was one of my first power amps, and I loved it. And 900 watts it does on a 2 1-ohm load on burst, so it's an awesome amplifier. I just tested it yesterday briefly, and it didn't seem to be producing the kind of power I was expecting. So I'm going to probably try it in my car and see if that makes any difference. I want to see if it's a difference between the voltage that I'm using in my house compared to in my car, or if it's just something with the amplifier. And my experience with amplifiers is either if they do or don't work, or I've had amplifiers where I ran the impedance too low and something was hurt inside the amplifier, but it still worked. And when you turned it up at higher volumes, then it would clip off. This one wasn't clipping off. Nothing was occurring. It was just not producing the volume that I expected. And I mean, I kept turning it up. I turned the gain up. I turned the volume up. And it just wasn't producing what I thought it was supposed to produce. I have a bunch of amplifiers here and a bunch of new subwoofers I'm going to be demoing, so definitely stay tuned for that. I got a new box here. I'm going to figure out what I'm doing with it. It was a little funky design. It's actually an Aeroport, so it's my first Aeroported box, so I'm really excited for that. I do want to change a couple of things on it, such as they put the speaker, or this is the speaker terminal going to the amplifier, and they kind of put it out of here, and they must have drilled a little small hole and like glued some glue around here. So I think I'm going to take a sander and just sand the whole thing down, tighten down all the screws that are not flush. Make sure they're all in sync and flush. There's no speaker terminal, as I just said. There's that little thing coming out of the box. I'm going to shave that off, get rid of that. I'm going to put a speaker terminal on it, and I think I actually have one that'll fit right on the old hole. It looks like what they did was take a double subwoofer box, a 10-inch subwoofer box, and put a box around the box, if that makes sense, and make the dual 10-inch box into one box. That's pretty much what they did. And they covered up where the terminal hole was before, where you plugged your speakers inside and outside into, and completely covered that up with a piece of wood. So I think I'm going to recut that hole out and put one of my own terminals in. And I'm just going to redesign the box and reuse this box, because when I saw the box, I got the amplifier, the box, and a 10-inch Jensen, which I'm going to have on demo. I'll have that for you. None of it was exactly what I was expecting, but in turn, I'm going to get to do a video on an old Jensen subwoofer that I've been looking at for years. I'm hoping that something changes with this amplifier, and this box is going to be phenomenal. So guys, stay tuned, because I'm going to have a lot coming at you coming soon. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for them videos, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace. Alright, YouTubulars. So while we're here, guys, just wanted to do another video real quick, because I'm going to be returning this, and I think I'm going to have to open a return with eBay, because I'm having a hard time getting. I'm just going to show you and I did this several times here. I blew this up, I shrunk it, and it's just coming back poor. I don't know if this was scanned in or what, but you can see the tracking number here is very poorly. It has spots in it. Right here, there's spots all the way through the tracking number. And I don't even know if they'll be able to scan this. You can barely read the numbers on it. The address and everything is barely legible. And and I had this blown up before. It was about 2/3 of this size, so it was even smaller than this. And I'm just having a hard time here. And I mean, I shouldn't even have this problem in the first place. It looks like this was, I don't want to say it was done on purpose, but it looks like it was done on purpose. If anything, this should have been checked before it went out. But I ordered, the box is correct, the Timpano TPT 500 2-ohm amplifier, and I got a Timpano TPT 500.4. So instead of a monoblock, they sent me a 4-channel amplifier. You can very clearly see that the amp is used. It has install marks on where the screw holes are. The terminal block here for all the speaker and the power and everything is all, the screws are different places and different areas. Normally they're all the way down. When you buy an amplifier, they're not all in different places. There's no fuse in here, so I don't even know what there's no fuse, so I can't even test the amplifier. I mean, it's a nice little amplifier. It's really cool. It's a little amplifier, you know, the size of the palm of my hand, really. But I didn't order this 500.4. Somebody, it looks like I said, deliberately put it in there. And I just want what I paid for, not whatever this. And now it's actually costing me time and money to send this back. And something I should have had in 3 days is now it's going to take a week and a half, 2 weeks. Who knows if I'm even going to get the amp that I paid for or have any more issues after this. It was place on eBay. I got a great deal for 60 bucks. You can check it out on eBay if you want yourself. It's a retail group company out of Georgia, I believe. Yeah, Marietta, Georgia. So feel free to check that out if you want, or don't. So I'm just hoping I get the right amplifier in. I just wanted to shoot this video real quick, and I might even go buy a fuse, because I'm not seeming like I'm gonna return this at any time, and I'll test the amp to see if it even works, because I'm just guessing by the looks of it, it might not even work. They might have just blown the amp and somebody played Mickey Ficky here and sent me this. So stay tuned, guys, because we'll have more coming on this video. Don't go anywhere.